Good morning. Happy Friday, Flo. We have Sandy joining us for probably just a minute. I'm sure she'll leave soon. But go ahead and start in a seated position. My name is Ellen. I'm going to lead you all through this 15-minute practice. If you have to hop off at 9, that's totally fine. And if you have yoga blocks with you or handy, grab those, put them off to the side. Starting at any comfortable seated position, just like Sandy, right in the middle of my mat. So I'll be over here until she moves. So a couple shoulder rolls, up, down, and back. Happy Friday. Hope you all have had a good week so far, and we are ready to just get a nice good stretch, build some heat with a flow, but also get a nice good stretch today. And the next inhale, you're gonna reach those arms up. And as you exhale, take them down and release. And let's do it again. Deep breath up, inhale, and exhale. Good, one more time. And this time at the top, you're gonna interlace those fingers, and we're gonna take them up and over to that right side. So big stretch to that side body. And then inhale back to center, exhale over to the other side. Big stretch. And back to center, pull those elbows down as if you're making sort of a goalpost shape or cactus pose. Inhale, pull those elbows back, lift your head up. And then exhale, you're gonna bring your elbows in and sort of fold forward a little bit. So inhale, you're gonna pull them back out again. Sort of a mini back bend here that we're creating. And then exhale, you're gonna bring them back together. So opening up right away through our shoulders and chest. 2 more. Big inhale and big exhale. Beautiful. 1 more. Inhale like you're in a doorway, getting a big stretch. And exhale, bring it in. And then release those hands down. Let's do a seated cat-cow here. I'll show you from the side. So inhale, you're gonna push your chest forward. Pull those hands towards your hips and slide your elbows back and together. And then exhale, just like we did before, round the spine, chin to chest. Let's do it again, inhale. So just like a cat-cow, but in a seated position. Exhale. Starting to wake up our lower back. Big deep breath, and exhale. Then 1 more. Inhale, let's see all these people today. And exhale. Beautiful. We'll do 1 more fake seated. Feel free to adjust your seated position if you'd like. We're gonna go and just do a side stretch or side bend. So we're gonna bring our arms back up. And as we exhale, we're gonna lower that right arm. We're gonna take a nice big reach over to that right side. Take a few breaths here, hey, sweetie. Pressing down through that left hip. Take 1 more breath. Inhale, take it back up. And then exhale, lower down your left arm. And then a big reach up and over with that right arm this time. Feeling that big stretch through your side body by pressing into your right hip this time. 1 more breath here. And then slowly come back up, inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and release. Let's make our way, shift up into tabletop position. So hands and knees, tabletop. Just gonna move over here. Your hands should be right underneath your shoulders and knees right underneath your hips. We're gonna find cat-cow. So as you inhale, what you're gonna do is drop your belly, lift your chest and your tailbone, and then exhale, you're gonna draw that chin to your chest, round the spine. And let's do it again. So just like we did in that seated position, inhale. This is our cow. And then exhale, we find our cat. Make sure those feet are nice and flat here so we get sort of that stretch for our shins. Do it again, inhale. And exhale. Perfect, 1 more. Deep breath in. And exhale. Perfect, let's shift back into child's pose. So knees wide, sitting back onto those heels. Go ahead and walk your hands out to the very tippy top of your mat. As far as you can, dropping your head between your arms. Now she's ready to go. Hold that child's pose. Take a few breaths. You go. Good. Shift your weight from side to side here in that child's pose. Surprised you didn't stay that long. Take one more breath here. And inhale, let's slowly come back up to our tabletop. We're gonna come into a spinal twist and do our thread the needle. So inhale, let's lift that left arm up. And then exhale, just lower down halfway. We're gonna do 2 more before we come to that full version. Inhale, take it back up. Gently reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, lower. And then our final one, we're gonna come all the way down. So big inhale, reach, opening up a little bit more. And then exhale, thread the needle coming all the way down onto your head and shoulder, keeping those hips lifted. If it feels good, extending that opposite arm towards the ceiling. I'm going to be reaching around for that opposite hip. One more breath. Slowly shift those hips back. And come on back to your tabletop to sort of reset. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So send that right arm, big reach, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower down just halfway. 2 more. So each one opening up, lifting a little bit higher. Inhale and exhale. Last one as high as you can, big lift. Inhale and exhale. Here we go. Thread the needle, lower down. All the way down into your shoulder and your head, keeping your hips lifted. Big twist here, take a few breaths. And if you'd like, extend that other arm up. Maybe wrap it around. Reaching for your hip or just keeping it extended. And then slowly shift your hips back and reset back up to your tabletop. Perfect. Okay, just want to generate a little bit of heat in the core. So you're going to tuck your toes, and we're going to do this bear plank. You're just going to do a little bit of a hover. So you're going to lift the knees off the floor just an inch or 2 right now, and then hover. Stay in this tabletop position. So it's sort of like a plank. The knees are just an inch or a couple inches off the floor. Pull those abs in. Neck is long. Hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the knees, relax, and then we're going to do that again. So again, just stay in a nice tabletop position. You're just gently lifting the knees off the floor. Okay, we'll do it one more time. So hands right under the shoulders. Take an inhale, pull those abs in just a little bit. Exhale, go ahead and lift the knees. Hold it here for a couple breaths. Keeping that head long, your gaze is in front of your fingertips towards the top of the mat. Bracing through the core, hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Lower the knees. Let's come all the way down to our chest and belly. Now we're going to get a little stretch here. We're going to lift up onto our elbows, almost like we're getting ready to do a plank. And we're going to hang out here for a couple breaths. So our Sphinx pose, stretching up through the spine and back. Elbows again right under your shoulders. And then keeping those shoulders, if you can, down and away from your ears. Legs about hip distance here. Giving your low back a little extra space. A few more breaths. If this doesn't feel good, maybe a modified baby cobra. Feels a little better on your back today. We're going to hold this for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly take it down. Perfect. Let's go ahead and tuck our toes. Your hands now slide right under your shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to press up and find our downward facing dog. Hands towards the top of the mat, feet towards the back. Pedal out your heels. We'll take a couple of breaths here. So hang out in that downward facing dog. Feel free to move it around, make it your own. Work out through the kinks, maybe any tightness that you're feeling. Just nice and easy here with this down dog. Good. You want to think about pressing your chest towards your thighs while you're here. As always, just reaching those hips way up as high as you can towards the ceiling or sky. Pressing down both heels here. Take one more breath in and out through the nose. On that next inhale, you're going to make your way forward into a high plank. So we were in that bear plank earlier with our knees on the floor. This time, knees are off the floor. You can hold it for 4 more breaths. 3, bracing through the core, 2, and 1. Now exhale, lower the knees, and then lower your hips and your chest, chaturanga. Pull your elbows in, glue them in towards your sides. Flatten those toes, inhale, lift, baby cobra, pushing away from the mat, and then exhale to retap the toes. Come on back. Downward facing dog, perfect. Let's do it again. Inhale, take it forward. And then this time, just for a breath, so nice and strong, pressing through those heels. Exhale, knees and chest. Remember, you're sort of just gently forward and past your wrists. Lower down, right in front. Pull the elbows in, flatten those feet. Inhale, lift, baby cobra, and exhale, come on back to your downward facing dog. Hold this here for a couple of breaths. Really pressing down through those heels. Take one more deep breath. Next inhale, bend the knees. Next exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Come into a forward fold at the top of your mat. So imagine you're folding your body in half here, sort of right at your waist. Bend the knees as much as you need to, let it go. If it feels good and you're able to, maybe clasp your hands behind you and pull those arms up and back as you begin to lower the head a little bit more. That's not an option for you. Maybe you take this sort of a rag doll, grab your elbows, and gently sway side to side. So whichever one feels good. Let's take one more breath wherever we're at here. And then release the arms. We're going to slowly roll it up to standing with our head coming up last. Nice and tall at the top. Once you're at the top, just do a nice big shoulder roll all the way up to the ears and down. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, you're going to swan dive forward. So lean forward with the chest, making like a big circle with your arms. You're going to take it all the way down. We're going to lift up flat back, so halfway. Take your hands to your knees, right by your shins. We're going to lift up through the crown of the head, and then push your heels into the floor. Slowly come on down. Let's step back to downward facing dog. We're going to bring our feet a little bit closer in. So we're going to start by lifting our left leg up for a 3-legged dog. So inhale, lift that leg up. As you exhale, bend that knee. We're going to plant that foot right in between our hands. You're going to take a big step in with your back foot. Open up about 45 degrees, drop that heel. When you're ready, lift your chest. You're going to find warrior 1. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, interlace those fingers here. So front leg is bent, back leg is straight. Warrior 1, hold this right here. Nice, strong pose. Perfect. Let's do one more breath in this warrior 1. Next inhale, we're going to lower those arms. Exhale, roll the shoulders. We're going to interlace our fingers together, or our hands together, clasp them. Interlace the fingers, or maybe just start by squeezing your shoulder blades together. Inhale, lift up. Keep squeezing your shoulder blades. Exhale, you're going to slowly lower that chest down towards your thigh. Very slow. If it feels good, you're lifting those arms up and back. Again, maybe you just start by squeezing your shoulder blades together, trying to bring those hands close to one another. Nice and slow, dropping that head with every exhale. Really starting to feel that heat now build in the body, especially in that front leg. Next inhale, push into your back leg. And then exhale, slowly come on up. Let's straighten the leg. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's go in for a twist. So lower your arms. We're gonna go into triangle pose. You're gonna reach towards that front foot on your inhale. Your hips go back behind you. And then exhale, just gently pressing, placing really your hand on that knee. And then you're gonna extend that opposite arm up. Maybe it just starts right here at the hip. Our first one, so big twist through the upper body and torso. We're gonna hang out here for a couple breaths. Maybe go a little lower towards your ankle and extend that arm all the way up. If it's here, that hand should be right on top of your shoulder. Nice big reach, lifting up through the chest. So if you're barely putting pressure on your leg. Inhale, push into your back foot. Perfect. And exhale, we're gonna twist to the other direction. So let's take our hands down and take a bigger step back. I want you to drop that back knee down for a low lunge. You can keep this foot flexed. You're gonna press that right hand to the floor, inhale, and then exhale, you're gonna reach and twist now the opposite direction. So watch that front knee. Just wanna make sure it doesn't go all crazy. Wanna keep it in line. Big stretch. One more breath here. And then inhale, take those hands down. So this is a good spot for those blocks, forgot to mention. But you're gonna go ahead and lift that back knee off the floor. So we're in a sort of a runner's lunge. Hold this here, dropping the hips, lifting the chest. So you see how I'm using my blocks. Hands on either side of that foot. One more breath, and then we're gonna step to the top of our mat to find chair pose. So big inhale, push off the back foot. Exhale, take a step to chair. Bring those toes together. Drop the hips, lift the arms, and hold. So arms are up for chair, but there's always a couple options here. So maybe you take your hands and prayer your chest. Maybe you find that cactus pose, whatever feels good here. Let's take one more breath, and we're actually gonna open up to the side of our mat. So inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, push the shoes up a little bit. So you're gonna open up to a nice wide squat. It's almost like we're going into goddess pose. So on your next inhale, reach your arms up super strong, nice and tall. Exhale, you're gonna bend the knees, drop the hips back into a squat, pull your elbows in. And then inhale back up, nice and tall, and then exhale. Good. And think about squeezing through your glutes a little bit, and almost like you're tucking your hips here. Inhale and exhale, just so we don't have a huge arch in that back. Let's do one more. Hold it right here. Bring your hands together, just nice and low here. We're gonna hold this for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and come on up. Let's take a step back in to meet that other foot. On your next inhale, you're gonna bring that right leg up. So a little bit of balance here. Exhale, step it back to a high lunge. Reach those arms up, inhale. And exhale, hold. Perfect. One more breath, and we'll open up a little wider. So on your next exhale, we're gonna find warrior 2. Open the hip, knee and ankle, rotate and follow, and then lower your arms. Nice and strong. We're back to that front leg being bent and your back leg being straight. Arms strong. One more thing here, one more layer, then we'll take it down and go to the other side. Flip that palm, inhale, exhale, let's find that peaceful warrior. So a nice good stretch here. Back behind you, taking that gaze up, and then inhale, come back, exhale, cartwheel those hands down, watching that back heel. Hands on the floor, you can even still use your blocks here. This is helpful if you have tight hamstrings. So you come back to down dog. Inhale, we go through this flow here. Find your plank, exhale, lower knees and chest. Tricep push up. Inhale, lift baby cobra. Exhale, come on back to your down dog. Or even a child's pose. Works here. So we're just taking it nice and slow today, but still doing a lot of stuff to practice balance, build that heat before we really stretch it out. So we'll do that same thing on the other side, okay? You have your blocks, get them handy. Take one more breath in down dog or that child's pose. All right, if you were in child's pose, come back to your down dog. So we're just gonna go right to the other side from our down dog because we started with that three-legged dog. So this time, it's your left leg. Inhale, squeeze and lift it as high as you can. Exhale, you're gonna bend that knee and place that foot now in between your hands. We're gonna hold this here. I did the wrong side. Make sure it's the other side. I did the wrong one. So hold this right here. You're gonna take a little step in. Find that warrior one, drop through heel. Inhale, reach the arms up, chest lifts. Exhale, find that warrior one position. So front knee bent, back leg straight. Holding this here. So warrior one, our hips are forward. And just a little bit, not too wide of a stance here. Pulling your arms to your ears, bracing through the core. One more breath. Let's roll, lower the arms, roll the shoulders. Inhale, lift. Exhale, let it go. Okay, we're gonna big squeeze with our shoulder blades. Maybe those hands clasp and fingers interlace, maybe they don't. One more breath, lift up. Inhale, and then exhale, slowly lower down. Humble warrior. As you're lowering, lifting your arms up and back. Take a few breaths. Head heavy like a bowling ball. I always say, just drop it down. Easy to keep tension in the neck and shoulders, so just try to let it go. We're gonna hold it for a few more breaths. Keep squeezing those shoulder blades together. One more deep breath here. Now push into your back foot. Slowly pull yourself up. Use those core oblique muscles. Inhale and exhale, release. Straighten that front leg. Take those arms up. We're gonna reset and then we're gonna open up to find triangle pose. Lower through the arms. Inhale, reach towards your front foot. Hips go back in that opposite direction. And then exhale. We first just gently place by the knee. We rotate and reach that back arm up. Stacking that hand on top of your shoulder. And again, maybe the hand starts at the hip. So hold it for a couple of breaths since most of us, I think, we're all home. If you have that wall to use it here. This is a good one. Good pose to use this. So you want to imagine you're sort of falling back into a wall. So we don't want sort of this to be happening with our bodies. We don't want to be dropping your chest forward. We want up and nice and tall. So one more breath where you're at. Try to keep that bottom hand away from your leg and not putting too much weight into it. Inhale, slowly come up. Now we got to twist towards the other side. Exhale. So we take it down to our lunge. You can use your blocks. We drop that back knee. We press that left hand to the floor. Inhale and exhale. Now you twist the opposite direction. Extending that arm up. So you want to think of lifting the chest, dropping the hips here. 2 more breaths. So just like with our thread and needle, right? Big, big reach here, last breath. Inhale down, exhale, lift that knee off the floor. Stay in this lunge. Notice my hips are low, chest is up. So we don't want those hips up like this. Drop them down. Maybe that back foot comes in a little bit. 1 more breath. And then slowly, big step to the top. We're gonna find that chair pose. Toes together, drop the hips, reach the arms up, chair pose, hold. Make sure in this chair pose, you can wiggle those toes. Your hips are down, chest is up. It's easy to kind of start falling forward in your chair pose. So make sure you keep your chest up a little bit. 1 more breath here, feeling that burn in those thighs. Go ahead and slowly release. We're gonna take a step out. Come back to this goddess pose. Nice and wide, opening from those hips. Inhale, big reach. Exhale, come down. Good, up and down. So a little bit of movement here to break up this sequence. Perfect, let's do 1 more. Inhale, exhale. Good, this time just extend your arms out. We'll do palms up. Nice and low, knees tracking pretty much over those toes. Hold this here. Want to make sure we're not arching our back too much, right? So tucking those hips, hold for 4, dropping into lower 3. Keep breathing, 2, shoulders down, 1. Hands come together, come up and step back to that chair. Drop here for a moment. We're gonna get ready to step back for that lunge to find the warrior 2. So inhale, now that left leg lifts. Hold for just a second, little balance there. And then exhale, step back for your high lunge. Arms up and hold. 1 breath here before that transition. Now open up for warrior 2, exhale, lower. This is a big, wide stance, so make that adjustment. We're here for a few breaths. So I want to see shoulders right on top of those hips. Hold that right there. Imagine I'm pulling you in both directions at the same time. Beautiful. Nice, Jeanette. Good, Bill. Nice, Mindy. Perfect. Nice and strong, Regina. Good. Pushing that knee out. 1 more breath. Flip that palm, inhale, exhale, take it back. Take your gaze up. Big stretch, reaching back behind you. And then inhale, come on back, exhale. Let's take it back down. Stepping on back to your down dog. You can find a child's pose or go through this flow again. And then maybe you're ready to do that full chaturanga, lowering without lowering your knees. If you're a little more advanced, you can go into the upper facing dog, whatever you like right there. And then we're all gonna find child's pose or down dog before we repeat the sequence 1 more time on each side. We're gonna add a little balance. So 1 more breath. All right, if you are in child's pose, come on up to meet us in down dog. Bring those feet together. Inhale, it's our left leg that lifts up. Exhale, bend that knee, plant that foot at the top of your mat. Take a step in, warrior 1, arms up. Inhale and exhale. So clustering those hands together. So let's try to get maybe a little bit deeper into these poses for the second round. We're warm, we're ready to go. So a little bit stronger in each pose with a little more purpose, almost. Release the arms, roll the shoulders. Big inhale, and then exhale, humble warrior. Let it go. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Clasp the hands if you have that. 2 more deep breaths, in and out through the nose. Lower an inch more. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Ooh, straighten that leg. Here we go, triangle pose, full version, inhale, exhale, lower. So big, big reach in front of that foot. And then exhale, here we go. So if hand was here before, maybe try to extend it up, right? Keep holding that, remember from the side, we don't wanna be falling forward like this. The goal is to really lift up and back. So you're squished between 2 walls. Use that wall if you have it. Hold it for a few more breaths, lift up a little higher. Maybe take that bottom hand away from your leg so you're not actually touching your leg at all. 1 more breath. Big, big twist. Inhale, slowly come up. Woo. Exhale, take those hands down. Now, we did low lunge before, so if you want a little extra challenge, stay in this sort of runner's lunge with knee off the floor, and then reach and twist. So maybe that knee comes back down, but maybe it lifts up for this round. So you're twisting towards the other direction. Watch that front knee. Big, big reach. Maybe the arm reaches behind for your opposite hip to open that shoulder a little more. 1 more breath. And then inhale, the hand comes down. Exhale, we take a big step to the top and we find our chair pose. Drop, reach, and hold. Chair pose. Perfect. 1 more breath here. Inhale up, exhale, step it out. So we're switching this up to a wide-legged stance. Okay, so nice and wide. Maybe one block in front of you. Inhale, arms out. And then exhale, shift the hips back. Keep that back nice and flat. Keep going. Hold this here. Go to about 90 degrees. Stop halfway. Hold this for 4, 3. Pull your shoulder blades together. 2. And now forward fold on 1. So a little stretch break in the middle here. And just hang out for a couple of breaths. So you're reaching for that block or reaching for the floor. Maybe you're actually walking your hands towards the back. Maybe you're reaching for your ankles. Whatever stretch feels good, you're gonna feel this behind the legs. And we'll sort of get it stretched out for our balance pose that's coming up next. Maybe you shift right to left if that feels good. One more breath. And then we're going to transition back over to the front of the mat. Just walk your hands over to that front leg and then come into a lunge. So you're sort of going back to this lunge position. Okay, we're going to take a big step in with this back leg. You're going to take your hands now up to your chest, lift up. We're going to get ready for a warrior three balance pose. So lift that back leg up, lift the chest, reach and hold. So slight bend in your standing leg. But back leg is nice and straight. Maybe you're holding on to your dresser or bench or table, or maybe even the wall. Hold this for a few more breaths. Now, if you want something a little more challenging, you could open up to standing half moon. Maybe you find a tree pose as your balance or dancer's pose. There's so many different things you could do here. So a couple more breaths, just any balance. It's gonna be a good challenge. Pull those abs in, one more. And then exhale, step it back to your lunge. Woo! Inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's open to warrior two. Woo! Hold this right here, catch your breath, good job. Nice and strong, this warrior two. One more breath, flip that palm, inhale and exhale, peaceful warrior. Take your gaze out. Can you stretch back an inch further here? And then inhale, take it back, exhale, cartwheel those hands. Awesome work, step on back. You can do your flow here, find a quick child's pose, but we'll do that same exact thing on the other side, all right? Adding in that warrior three and swapping that squat for the wide-legged stand stretch. One more breath. Come back to down dog, let's go right into this. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bend that knee, plant that foot. Step in for warrior one. Lift up, inhale, arms up, exhale, hold. Maybe catching your breath a little bit. Should be nice and warm. Lower the arms, roll the shoulders. Take your gaze up, inhale, little back bend there. If you can, clasp those hands together and exhale, start to lower. Arms reaching up and over. Hold that right there. I always love this stretch, big shoulder stretch. Few more breaths, in and out through the nose. Just let it go. And then pushing into your back foot, slowly lift yourself up. Inhale, bracing through the core. Exhale. So really trying to utilize that core. Arms up and lower, triangle pose. Let's flow right into it. Big stretch. And then again, this nice flowing motion. This time around is really thinking through each movement and finding that fullest version of it. That biggest stretch. Maybe take that bottom hand away from your leg, extend that arm, fall into the wall, whatever you have. Lift the chest, stretch back an inch more, one more breath. Nice job, everyone. Inhale, come on up, and exhale. Let's cartwheel those hands. We gotta twist to the opposite direction. So we come on down, step back. You can lower the knee or keep it right here. Inhale and exhale, twist. Side's a little tighter, I'm gonna drop to my knee. Big twist, maybe you wrap around, reach for that hip, hold it for 2 more breaths. So we're hips down and chest up. And then inhale, hand comes back. And exhale, big step in. We find our chair pose. Drop the hips, reach the arms and hold. You should be able to wiggle your toes right here. When you look down, you should be able to see them. Inhale up, exhale, big step out. Wide-legged stance. So feet facing forward, having this block in front of you. Extend, inhale, exhale. We come all the way down and just let it go. This should feel really good. So a couple of things here. You can shift your weight from side to side. Maybe you reach for those ankles. Or you walk in towards the back of your mat. Maybe stay up here with me and just reach for that block. Take a few more breaths. Always sort of a slight bend in your knees, just so you're not locking out that joint completely. Might not feel too good. One more breath, and we walk around towards the top of the mat, where we started. So inhale, let's walk those hands back over towards that right leg, shifting back into this lunge. You're gonna take a big step in, and then we're gonna take our hands to prayer and lift our chest. We're sort of getting ready to push off and find that warrior three balance. So when you're ready, go ahead and find that. So push off, lift and hold. So remember the options. You can stack your hips like a side plank and find that standing half moon. Maybe you grab the foot for a dancer's pose. Maybe it's a tree pose. Any balance really will work. Bracing through the core, lift that leg a little higher. Let's try one more breath wherever you were at. And then take it back to that lunge. Inhale, woo, probably the hardest part. Exhale, hold this here, and then open up to your warrior two. Pushing into your back foot as much as your front. Arms are strong, ending strong. Flip that palm, inhale, and exhale, take it back. Big, big stretch, and then inhale, let's take it all down. You can go through this one final time. And then when you're done, find your child's pose and take a couple breaths. Good job, everybody. So you can do that flow, that sequence as many times as you want. Feel a little extra upper body. And then everyone find a nice child's pose. When we're done, take a deep breath. Once you're here, next inhale, walk it over to the right diagonal as far as you can reach. Hold this here. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale back to center. Woo, exhale, come on up. Take a shoulder roll. How are we doing? We good? Okay, we're not done yet, but we're just gonna finish with some stretching. Okay. So find pigeon pose for our first stretch. So if this doesn't feel good on your knees, is what our pigeon pose is. You'll take the figure four stretch instead. And that's this one right here on your back. But either way, we're stretching our hips and glutes. So we'll do that right leg first. So either make your way on your back, or you come to downward facing dog, lift that right leg up, and then place it towards the top of the mat. That leg stays straight. If you want a little more of a stretch, lower down onto your elbows in your pigeon pose. And then if you're on your back, you can just pull the legs into your chest a little bit closer. Feel free to maybe move around a little bit with this. If you want a little extra stretch, bring that foot up towards the top of your mat. If you're in pigeon, you'll get a little deeper stretch. All right, next inhale. If you're in pigeon with me, come on up to your hands and then gently push back to down dog. If you're figure four, we're just gonna go ahead and swap legs. Cross the other ankle over your knee. Left leg lifts, and we take it to the top of our mat for pigeon. And then slowly lower onto your elbows, a little deeper stretch. You're on your back, keep your head down. Keep the back flat while you pull your legs into your chest. If you're in pigeon, slowly come up on the next inhale up to your hands, and then exhale back to down dog. And then inhale, slowly lower those knees down. If you're already on your back, you're gonna stay right there. And everyone else, we're gonna meet them. So gently make your way down onto your back. Once we're all there, we're gonna give a big hug and bring our knees into our chest. You're gonna circle your ankles, Wiggle your toes, rock side to side here. Create circles in one direction with your legs. And then go ahead and reverse those circles. All right, let's lower our feet onto the floor. Arms down by your side. We're gonna come up into a bridge. So take a breath. On your exhale, slowly lift those hips up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Inhale, gently lower. And exhale, lift back up. Let's do 2 more. And if you have that block handy or nearby, go ahead and grab it. We'll come into a supported bridge. You could also use a pillow here. So you can take a moment to grab that. Forgot to cue that. Inhale down and then exhale. You're gonna do 1 more bridge and we're gonna hang out in a supported bridge. So you're gonna lift the hips up and then you're gonna slide whatever you have. Pillow, block, rolled up towel. Slide it right underneath your hips. And the top part of your glutes, sort of your lower back, just so you can feel supported. Then we're gonna hang out here for a couple breaths. Feel free to close your eyes. So hip flexors are completely relaxed. Just getting a little stretch here. With your eyes still closed, if you want a little bit more, you can gently lift your feet off the floor and extend your legs up towards the ceiling, almost like a legs up the wall pose. You can bend and straighten the legs a couple times. Maybe you keep those legs extended. Whatever feels good here. Just giving our feet a little bit of a break. Also our low back. So we really have no weight on it with our legs up. Should feel good. If you're really close to a wall, feel free to actually do your legs up the wall and you get that bonus hamstring stretch. So we'll be here for a couple more breaths. So finding any of those versions that feel good to you for just another couple breaths. I like to have my legs lifted off the floor, but I keep my knees bent. So they just kind of hang out right here. And one final breath in this inversion. And then when you're ready, slowly lower those feet onto the floor. We're gonna gently lift up just a little bit higher so we can slide that block, towel, or pillow off to the side. Lower down gently. Once you're there, windshield wiper those legs. Take your arms overhead. Give yourself a little shoulder stretch as those legs go from right to left. We're gonna do another twist here in just a moment. So we're gonna come into sort of a fetal position over on our right side, as if you're like a baby. So all the way on your right, you can use a block as a pillow, or if you have a pillow, use your pillow. I find that without something here, while I'm doing this, it just kind of really puts pressure on my neck. So your head can be flat on the floor, but if that doesn't feel good, grab that pillow or block. So fetal position, we're on our right, our knees are as close into our chest as we can get them. Arms are straight out, and this is our open book stretch. You're gonna open the book, that left arm reaches up, open it all the way so you can read it, look over your shoulder, and then exhale, close it back up. So we're gonna do that a couple times. So inhale, slowly open. Feel a big stretch in your shoulders, look over that shoulder, and then exhale, close it back up. We'll do it one more time, and then we're just gonna hang out with the book open. Do a little reading. So take it out to the side and hold, look over that left shoulder. Trying to relax your hand to the floor. Try to touch the floor. Take one more breath here. Big twist. All right, we're done. Let's slowly close the book back. Perfect. Okay, we have to do the other side. So you can gently, gently roll onto your back, or I like to press myself up. Swing my legs around and then just go to the other side. So whatever feels best for you. So fetal position. Arms are straight, knees are close into your body. Other side, right arm lifts, inhale. All the way over as far as you can reach. And then exhale, let's close it back up. 2 more. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close. Good, last one. So legs, don't move at all. Keep them right here. Just an upper body twist. And then hold this for a couple breaths. Ideally, you want that hand to drop to touch the floor. Mine is not even close on this side. Just means my shoulders are way too tight. Keep breathing. One last breath. And then slowly close it up. We are done with that book. Perfect. All right, you can move that pillow off to the side. We're gonna gently roll onto our back. Just be gentle. So coming all the way back. We're gonna hug our knees into our chest. So we're almost done. There's 2 more stretches to go. Happy baby first for our hips and spine. So grab the feet, extend those legs up. Rock side to side, give your back a little massage. Really good. And then slowly bring your feet back together. Lower them down, extend the legs straight, arms overhead. So this pose is inspired by the really pretty crescent moon that I saw the other night. So you're gonna create that crescent moon shape with your body, or like a capital C. So slowly, let's go to the left. Just kind of walk those legs over to the left. Walk the arms to the left diagonal. You can move your head in that direction. So imagine you were doing this standing just on your back right now. So you're gonna feel a big stretch along that right side body. The sky has been so clear the last couple of nights. Well, really it's been the mornings. Just seems like night because I was up very early, but I've been able to see the stars, which I usually can't around here. Slowly come back to the center. Take a breath, and let's do the same thing on the other side. Walk to the right as far as you can. Again, envision that crescent moon. You're creating that shape with your body. Big, big stretch. Look to the right. Hold this here. Take one more breath. And walk it back to center. Inhale. And then exhale. You can slowly bring those arms down by your side. Maybe give yourself a little hug. And then just for our last moment or last minute, we're gonna find our Shavasana. And that can be any pose that you would like. It can be that traditional corpse pose, if that feels good. Legs out, arms down by your side with the palms up. I like to do that with my knees bent and feet on the floor. Maybe you come back to your fetal position or child's pose feels good, legs up the wall, whatever you like. Close your eyes. Just be. Focus in on your breathing. And just let it go. Just let everything go. Take one last deep breath with your eyes closed. Exhale, let it go. Start to bring that awareness back into your body by wiggling your toes, your fingers maybe. Gently pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Thanking our bodies for being able to go through this movement, this workout this morning. And then when you're ready, gently rolling to one side, pressing yourself up and finding a comfortable seated position. Very similar to how we started class. Maybe finding some shoulder rolls once you're there. Maybe a twist or two. And then all together, we'll take a nice deep breath, reaching our arms up, big inhale, and then big exhale. Let it go, one more time. Bring those palms together on that last breath, lower down, and say namaste to one another as we end our practice. And wishing you all a wonderful, long holiday weekend. And thank you so much for joining me and Sandy. I don't know where she went, but I think she's just been missing me being at home. So she loved having me here on Fridays. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.